I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, I to stay on the go. I came to play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me, then I double up again, none of their knows. None of them cold, they just got lucky but never adapted, so I'm to the one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close, I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke, I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Startup on the Blocks. We're glad to have you all here, out there, and all these different social media outlets. And it's Thursday night, July 14th, and we got a great program lined up for you tonight. We're going to be talking about streamlining your founder's journey, and that's a mouthful. But we want to make sure everybody has an overall picture of what a founder's journey is, and so we can kind of streamline that a little bit. But first, I want to acknowledge our sponsors. I'll start off with Innisfree. They actually sponsored our last pitch competition, and folks got 10 founders got to pitch their ideas, and we're giving them feedback so they can do a better job next time. And we gave away a little over $5,000, so we're excited about that. In the past, the First has sponsored our pitch competition as well, so to pay tribute to them as well. Florida Power and Light, they sponsor our lean stack stuff, and we had a new sponsor this past pitch competition, Collab. Patrick Rooney gave some free consulting away. He's got a big Fortune 500 background, so he's helping some of the first, second, and third place winners with some consulting there. So we're excited about that. And some of our first place winners also got memberships to the chambers, and all of our winners got um, access to listings in Bantucola, premium listing in Bantucola, and we appreciate all our partners out there, also including the SBDC at University of West Florida. So tonight I want to make it interesting, so don't hesitate to and put your questions in the comments so we can see what your interests are. Uh, but I get a lot of questions from founders, and I talk to founders, and I get uh, uh, I think there's sometimes a challenge and kind of understand what the founder's journey really is, and so I want to dig into that a little deeper tonight, so we can kind of get on the same sheet of music, because it is different than what most people are used to. And so when we got started, we put our playbook out there on what um, you should focus on, on your founder's journey. And I wanted to review that a little bit tonight. And I did separate number 4 out a little bit into uh, and added this 5: join and participate in local startup communities. And so a lot of our founders are out there working by themselves and not interacting with other founders. So they're missing out on some of that support. They're missing out, on ideas. And so we want to make sure folks understand that's a key thing to understand. Don't be out there by yourself. That's the first rule that that don't break that rule. Always be in cohorts with other founders so you can kind of stay on the right track. So let's start off with number 1 here, the playbook, the founder's mindset. And so this one is a key to understand what it's like to be a founder. And a lot of this stuff I'm telling you, what I want you to understand is that the idea is you are actually you need to have a certain mindset, because if you don't have that mindset, it's going to be hard for you to understand what's going on. And so that first number 1 is the startup playbook that by Y Combinator. Sam Alton, one of the original founders of Y Combinator, he put this playbook out there. And it's all it is just 25 minutes of audio. You listen to it, and he's telling you what your journey is going to be like, so you can know what to expect. And it's a simple thing. In 30 minutes, you can have a pretty good perspective on what the founder's journey really is just by listening to this audio. And so if you notice, Y Combinator, they've been in this business since probably around 2005, so quite a while. And they've they do their accelerator program, and it's actually a lot of founders has went through that, went through their program. So don't skip this step, because when you're out there and people telling you all this stuff, you won't understand. And so just by spending 25 minutes listening to this playbook that Sam put together, you can actually save yourself a lot of heartache and challenges. So definitely pay attention to that. So the next thing in this number 2, and this is what we focus on once you have that mindset, is this lean startup methodology. And so we and you are fortunate that we have access to this leanstack.com, that where you can actually get a pretty good handle on the basis of getting your idea, starting from an idea and getting off off the ground. So let's take a little closer look at that lean stack stuff. So this is the big picture. And so if you notice, in the first section here, you see on the left, you see the business model design and the foundation. So you start off with the foundation. And so the foundations, it'll give you the basics and give you an idea of what this startup world, what the economy is and the way people make and build things there. So you have a pretty good understanding how things have changed over the years. But the interesting thing in this training, which we offer to you for free, this foundations and business model design training, is saying you can learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. So what I want you to know is, and this part of this thing is about 30 days. So you can learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely in 30 days. But a lot of people participated in the pitch competition, and I'm not sure they actually went through this training thoroughly, because it's all about, teaching you how when you get to business model design, it's actually teaching you how to talk to people about your business. And when you're pitching, if you don't cover the things that are in this business model design thing, you can't answer questions based on what's in here. It's all about helping you articulate how to explain what your business thing is. So let's go ahead and dig a little deeper here. So the training itself, the foundations training, I tell people this: the videos in this particular part of the module is less than 5 hours, and so you can probably get through this foundation training in a couple of days to kind of get a good idea. And so you see, it's also talking about the mindsets and continuous innovation, and so it gives you it's like the Sam Altman thing. It's giving you a perspective on the economy we're in, and what your role is in the economy. So and this is kind of funny to me. I run into people sometime that actually they have an idea, and they want to skip all the stuff in between and go straight to getting funded, and scaling out their business. But they don't want to do all this stuff down here, and frankly, it doesn't work there. Well, now if you got a rich partner that's somebody that's willing to give you a lot of money and pull a team together and make mistakes and no mind wasting the money, you can try to do something like that. But while they're wasting their time trying to go from not even being able to pitch their idea clearly and concisely, they're out there trying to get people to join them and fund what they're doing. It doesn't really work like that, and it's never was intended to actually work like that. So this learning how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely, you can do that in less than 30 days. Yeah, and so it's so like getting back here, you don't. And the whole purpose for this too is, and let me just think them. Here's the business model design information, but what I want to show you is this next graph. So this is a 30-day period, and so you see you're working, you're deconstructing your idea, you're creating a lean canvas, you stress testing your idea, you determine is it desirable, and that simply means if you talk to people about what your potential customers about what you're trying to do, and you it's desirable because that's what generated you to come up with the idea, but you have desirability. It's just people love and need what you want to build, and then the viability of it. It's all about, will this business model stand over time, or you're going to make some money for a little while and then it's going to crash. And so there are tools in there to make sure that you can design that business model to see if it's actually going to be viable. And so this traction roadmap too, it actually gets you through that process. And and from my perspective, the feasibility of an idea, most with all the technology out there and all the platforms out there, unless you're doing something really unusual, most ideas that you have are feasible. You can that's pretty easy to determine if they're feasible because there's plenty of other similar business models and ideas that are out there. So, and the final part of this is, getting your pitch together, getting that story together, and some people in our pitch competition, they were able to actually, craft their story so people can understand why they were in the business. But so what's so interesting about this is saying when you get to this point, and if you got all this stuff correctly, you can get buy-in from your stakeholders. And who are your stakeholders? The people who run the pitch competition, your co-founders. You can recruit co-founders. If you don't have this part right, you're going to struggle getting into any program. You're going to struggle recruiting people. Most people always talk about how much money their idea is going to make, and they're all excited about it. And I had the same attitude in this and did the same kind of thing. But the bottom line is, if people don't understand how you're going to make all this money, they're not going to believe what you're telling them. And so once you go through this training, you have the ability to actually recruit people. But if people are not coming on your team and willing to help you out, it's because you're not selling them on your business model, and that's what this training is all about. And so when you go back to this long this period here, so once you get that pitch down and people can understand your idea clearly and concisely, then that's at the point when you actually can recruit your team if you don't already have a team. That's the significance of that. So and guess what? And the way the Lean Stack program works is, and you don't get in the accelerator program that lasts 3 months until nobody's going to let you in their accelerator program if you don't have a team to build your idea. And so the idea with this problem solution fit is that you just have an idea at this stage. You haven't built anything. And so if you have your team, most products today, you can actually have an MVP in 2 months. And then you can, by the end of the training, you actually can have a demo day where you've got some customers on board and they understand what you're doing. And so you can see this is not an overnight process. And you hear people talking about seed funding. The seed funding typically doesn't come until you get into this product market fit area, because they know you got something that's desirable, because you've got customers. They know you got you done proved the viability of your business idea. And so that's the time when you can start making more money. And so, like, in a matter of 3 years, you can be up to a significant recurring revenue. This example is $10 million annual recurring revenue in that amount of time. So the journey, it is structured. There is a method to the madness, and so you literally have to go on this journey and be willing to go on this journey. So you design your business model at the beginning, and then you validate your business model, and then that's when, once you validate, that's when it's time to scale and grow. And so it's not really a whole lot of rocket science, but this is the big picture. And getting up to a good start is not really that difficult if you we provide you with the training. So use the training and interact with other founders in order to kind of move forward. So let's see here. So let's see. The next step is I have on here is the startup school, and so this is like, and the reason for the startup school. Let's say you're not in our Lean Stack program, or you don't have access to the Lean Stack for free. Then the other thing you can do is you can actually enroll in the startup school, and I recommend doing both. And this is a virtual startup school, and I think I have a thing here. So Y Combinator, you notice I flipped over here playbook. You see the same logo on there. It's startup school, and so this is the most rich resource for founders that I've ever seen. Everything they did since 2005 is in their library. And any question that you have, you can go in that library. And a lot of founders, some of them struggle with being able to communicate properly, and they don't understand some of the terms. But you'll learn a lot in our Lean Stack training, but you can actually learn more in this particular program. So they literally open source everything about being a startup founder. I hope that makes sense to everyone, and so there is a process, and the reason why you want to go through this process is and I'll show you in a minute, because it is rewarding. It's different than the traditional approach that most people are used to when they're when they want to launch a business. And so the next step in the process is I have here create a profile on f6s.com and other founder sites. So there's no shortage of founder sites out there, but F6S has been out there quite a while, and it has over, I can't remember, it's somewhere between 2 million and 4 million founders on it. So let's take a look at that real quick here. So yes, so this site has a lot of stuff in it, and so it takes a while to navigate it because it's been around. It's actually been around so long. So you can apply for stuff with this apply tab. And as you see here, there's tons of opportunities. There's no shortage of opportunities. I can scroll. There's no shortage of opportunities for you to apply for. And not all opportunities are on this site. This is just, since it's been around the longest, it's the most popular site. We when we do our pitch competitions, the last two, we actually took applications from this site. So as you can see, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit bigger, and so you can actually understand what's going on here. So like I said, you could actually go on. You can search by region. You see, it's all over the world. It's just not here. And don't think you're limited to what's here in Pensacola, Northwest Florida, or St. Louis, or wherever you are. And you can actually look by different categories as well. Yeah, and if you want to find the ones that don't take any equity, you can fine tune that. If you can also look for stuff in different countries. So it's pretty neat. Let's see what this event tab is all about. So it's actually telling you about some conferences and stuff that are coming up. And so, like, as a startup grower, you need employees. It's got a job listing thing here. Oh, so what is this deals thing here? So the reason why the other reason why you so like the reason why you build a profile is several reasons. So when you build up your profile and your information, and so when you um, see one of these opportunities, you already have your profile built up for your personal profile and your startup profile. So when you apply for one of these um, events, um, these applications, you already have the information in it, so it makes it a lot easier for you to apply, and that's what part of the significance of building your profile. But the other reason you build up your profile is to get help, to get resources, discounted resources. So computer's going a little slow here. Oh, so look at the first resources up here. $25,000 of Amazon web hosting. And so the here look over here. Here's a DigitalOcean hosting thing. You get $10,000 worth of free hosting. So when you do start building your MVP, you don't have to pay to host it. That's and so for example, this Amazon web hosting, they give you additional 25,000 for support. So they'll help you with what you're doing. So you have $5,000 worth of support to get help building what you're doing. Um, oh, so IBM, you can it's a cloud service, or you want to use their AI stuff, 120,000. And and I told you all the story when the first pitch competition that I participated in, I didn't get selected to pitch, but I actually won $60,000 in cloud service, and then that got bumped up another 120,000 the following year, and so it's a pretty a lot of pretty amazing stuff, and so you see all these different categories of free stuff you get here. Now, what I want you to understand about these deals, and these are not and when you participate in a lot of different programs, they also have, free stuff that they offer you. Um, and the point I want to make about these this the importance of being on this site, when organizations see you're doing a startup on what they're interested in, they will then invite you to apply for their pitch competition or their accelerator program. Several of the programs I participated in, I didn't actually even go looking for them. They actually came to me, and so that's the other reason why you want to have your profile built up on here. So, does anybody have any questions out there in the audience? And what, because I do want to make sure you understand this, and I'll relate this back to how we structure Startup on the Blocks, so you can kind of understand that. So, if anybody has some experience, or you want to make a comment on, or have some success with any of this stuff on here, and so I can tell you my experience with Amazon web hosting. So so when I initially applied for that a couple of years ago, the so I clicked the deal button, get deal, and I got an email back from F6S, and the concierge said, well, your profile is lacking, and you need to boost up your profile a little bit, add more content to your profile, and so once I got it up, around close to 90%, I sent the guy an email and said, is this good enough? And he sent me back the coupon or the code to go over to Amazon and to get this $25,000 worth of software. So how hard was that? But you have to have a profile up here and showing you out there working on your startup. So how hard it is to go get $25,000 from the bank? What? So I just showed you that you can actually just build your profile and get $25,000 worth of help for your business. Try to do that with a bank. That's kind of what the point I want to make here. And so yeah, so I could go on. A lot of organizations are using this Notion thing to help with their communities and stuff like that. Let me just scroll down here so let's see what's on here. Mira. Yeah, it's just a lot of different things, but it's not just this site. Other sites have different offers that they give to you. So does that make sense to anybody out there? This idea why a startup is actually different than a traditional business. So what I'm telling you, the thing that you have to understand about this, and this is maybe people don't get this either, you're getting this stuff before you even get customers, before you launch your business. So most people think about they have to be up in business in order to get help. This is most of it. So when you think about this thing here, you probably haven't officially started getting customers, until this blue period over here. And so all this stuff I'm telling you, you can actually get in these early stages of your thing. And so that's to me that's pretty exciting. Yeah. So let's see what else we got here. Get back to that playbook. Okay, now this number 5, I think it's one of the most important things that you can do. Join and participate in local startup community. I put local here, but it doesn't. You definitely need to participate local because that's where you see people in person. But I'm involved in some startup communities in Atlanta, in Poland, and so it's like if you're not connected, and this is one of the things that we've been having a challenge with here and with Startup on the Blocks is being able to connect our founders since we do everything in virtual. And so we have a Lean Stack platform which our founders can communicate with each other in there and communicate with their mentors. But what's I think one of the things we have missing, and what I've learned from participating in like Goody Nation, Goody Nation, I think it probably has, maybe I'm not exactly sure, it's somewhere between 300 and 400 founders that they support, and they're growing so fast. I don't know what the latest number is. They just added this week, I think 50 new Latino founders, who, by the way, just got selected for Google for Startups Latino founders, and each one of those 40 founders actually got 50 founders got, I can't remember if it's 40 or 50, got $100,000 check. And there was an opportunity we put in the newsletter that expired last week, that it was for Google for Startups. I think it was an affiliate organization up in North Carolina, but that's actually a feeder program for Google for Black founders. And then there's also Google for Women founders. How many different programs, has to be out there? And what we're trying to do is get you on track, on a pathway to start participating in these things and get into these different programs, and so you can actually develop some an ecosystem. If the people that run these programs never heard of you, you're going to have a hard time getting in their program. So that's why you have to participate in programs so you can get referred to other programs. And so that's the key thing there. Uh, I should have pulled up. Um, let's see what I can find here. Um, see what I can find. Let's see if I can get. What I want to do is show you an example of the significance of actually being in a one of these groups. How really significant it is. So let me see if I can get to it. Just bear with me a little bit. That's here. So I could find it. Let's see. Yes. The So what's significant about what I'm getting ready to show you? You'll see this, and this is part of what the Code Argo that we had on last week. There we're in this tech workforce thing with Goody Nation. And so I'll show you some of the stuff that's in here. But we also have this Slack channel that we participated in Goody Nation. So there's a fundraising channel, the Leadership Council channel, and the main channel, the channel for the startups, and then this is the one I'm in, the tech workforce with the Kukua Institute. But so the folks we had on last week, they were actually they came aboard in Goody Nation because they Code Algo. Their deal is simply they want to they're developing lesson plans so Joe Blow teacher can actually teach coding. They don't have to have a coding background because they provide them all the lesson plans, everything that's needed to actually do to and that would be valuable if all the public schools could actually teach coding, and you don't have to have a teacher in there that knows how to do it. So this is a place where all those 400 founders that are in Goody Nation, and we list Goody Nation in our news opportunity, where you can actually apply for this and try it because they're expanding. Joey, we had him on Startup on the Blocks, and he has the audacious goal where he's trying to get all these founders out there and help them. And so the significant thing about his model is that he helped these founders with accountability. And so so what that means is we have weekly huddles. So if you haven't made it to the growth stage of your startup, you have weekly huddles, and so you have a dozen other people in that huddle that are along the same part of the journey you're in, and you help each other and share ideas with each other, and you have accountability partners, but you check in every week, so you are part of something, and you do progress reports every Monday, and so you're getting this rhythm going where you do it, and not all these. Most of these people that are in there, I would say a large percent of them still have full-time jobs, but they're learning all this stuff, and once they get to that growth stage, they're making enough money to quit their jobs, and so that's kind of what the idea is, and so you can see here you have your own profile in there, but the good thing is you have access to all these people that are in here. All the major Black founders are in here, and then you have the opportunities, and so So you can just scroll down the list of all these opportunities that are there that you can apply for. It's just it's just nonstop opportunities. So if you're sitting out there by yourself and building stuff and not participating in these communities, so what we found last week with uh, Trumpia and Cedric, so they as soon as they got in Good Nation, they searched the coach database and looking for somebody that can help them with their different applications, their pitch applications, grant applications, etc. And so they got lucky. They found a guy that runs an accelerator program that that coached them on how to fill out the applications. And so they were actually making it past the first bar and getting into some of these programs. So like in our lean stack thing, so we have mentors, but you have to be eager to get and connect with the mentors and ask and tell them what you're actually looking for. And see, all of these programs across the country, they have mentors, and you can get in more than one program and get the help you need. But you definitely ought to get your act together and get in Good Nation, because they've literally built. And this is, guess what? This is actually a no code application right here. I don't remember which one it is, but it's actually a no code application. This was built without code. They got a few perks in there, and they got this founders library, of tools you can actually use in there. So they're still growing that. And then as the founders develop their product, they're actually putting their wanting people to test their product. And so that's so when you join these things, you're connected. You don't have to go looking for stuff. The stuff is these places. So when I was looking at some of the opportunities from Fast Forward, they now have a database where you can actually go actually search their database for grants, and they got the opportunities, you know, if, listed in date order, before they expire. Went to Hello Alice. They have a Notion database. No, that one of them actually has, and it's in the newsletter I sent out this morning. They actually have let's say if you want to go the old approach where you go get a loan, and I don't know why you would want to do that when you can get all this other free help. But if you're in a position to get a loan, and they have one-stop shopping for loans. You fill out one application, and look at the newsletter. It shows all the vendors, the loan vendors that but you only have to fill out one application, but you get access to all these folks. So they streamline the process in lending. So that's a neat tool. And all of these things are evolving, but they're evolving to help people like you that are out there trying to build something. But if you stay out there working by yourself, you're never going to see any of this stuff, and you're never going to get to take advantage of it. And all of the programs, all the accelerator programs, when you get in them, you literally working on your own business. You working on your business, and fine tuning your business. Getting customers, getting connected to customers. You're no good to anybody if you can't get connected to those customers. So let me see. Can I get back here to my PowerPoint? So that's that number 5. Join and participate in these activities. So I said a 10-hour weekly events and networking and learning, but there are plenty other events that you can connect with, like it's in the newsletter. You can search on Hopin, and you can but the bottom line, Clubhouse, they got just so many different approaches to actually network and learn. And so the deal there is 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 if you're not networking, you're not finding the information that you need as fast, because the more people that know what you need, the more people out there keeping an eye out to identify what you need so you can actually move on. And so we hear that was the reason for the weekly networking on Startup on the Blocks. And then the best practice part of Startup on the Blocks, the reason for that is that we can put so there's several things. We can get experts, we can get archetypes, and that's people just like you and me that you can identify with. It could be a female founder, it could be a LGBTQ founder, it could be a Latino founder. It's just so you can see people come from all walks of life and become founders. I hear people that when I say, "Well, you're a founder," I say, "Come, let's talk about what you're doing on Startup on the Block." I'm not ready yet. I'm, you're ready when you get an idea, and that's what the whole thing is. And so like last week when we had Code Algo founders on, they had a lot of things going for them. And what I noticed as when we were talking about their business model and how they make money, and like even I saw the same thing in our pitch competition. If you can't articulate that clearly and concisely, the judges on the pitch competition, the people who are screening your application, if you can articulate that clearly, you're going to get scored lower, and that's part of that learning how to pitch, that business model design. I can't, it's just so important to understand how to pitch your idea. And I was talking to a gentleman at a couple of weeks ago, and he says he already knows how to pitch his idea. But when those judges start asking questions, you think you know how to, you thought you knew how to pitch your idea. Yeah. And so so that's what I'm saying. You don't know what you don't know. And so there's that language that the judges are looking for. You actually have to learn what that language is, and the best way to learn that is watch other pitch competitions. Just Google pitch competition. You'll find several that are going on every day. They have websites just for pitch competitions, demo days. So and this deal here, the last one is leveraging resources in the startup ecosystem, and so that's actually a pretty simple thing to do. Yes, and so it's I don't know. So the whole purpose for that thing about leveraging resources, there's so many opportunities out there, but the question always is how do you take these opportunities are out there, but they're all based on whether you know how to pitch your idea or not. So and so I did want to point out. So I do have the playbook right there in the newsletter, and I was telling you about the Hello Alice. Here's the loan database here, and so the whole point of this is if you do all the stuff I mentioned so far, then you're ready to start applying for these things. They have a pitch competition right here for the southeastern states. That includes Florida. That means you can apply to pitch in this pitch competition. And so that's what the significance of that is. Yeah, and there's tons of opportunities there. Yeah, there's no short, like I said, there's no shortage. And for our young founders out there, 3-day startups, they're doing another cohort of this, and they're looking for young people 18 to 26, and the deadline is early next month. Yeah, what I did want to mention too, this announcement came a lot. So we don't have as many good CTOs or people that know how to deploy stuff to the cloud. But in the Microsoft for startups, um, the, the they just did a partnership with Bubble, and and so what that means is Bubble is the one of the leading no code applications that you can actually build your application in without being a developer. And so by them partnering with Microsoft, so Microsoft for startups, that's letting you know that you apply for Microsoft for startups, you're going to get access to Bubble either for free at some significant discount. And so that's what that means. So they're taking away the road barriers for you to get involved to build your MVP if you don't already have it. Yeah, and so that's and also with Microsoft, they came out with their Power Pages where you can actually take your Figma mockups and actually do the front end web pages for them. So that's actually pretty significant. So who doesn't have a startup program? That's what there's so many startup programs. It's just totally crazy. It's just so many of them. Yeah, and like I said, I, I, I just do a sampling of them, and they just keep coming out. Um, yeah, and so there's always opportunities. So this is a new one. So this Zendebt, if you're doing some technology for good, you know, um, so they're giving you money and free stuff. Their free help desk software. So yeah, it's yeah, it's just totally amazing the stuff that's out there. And there's also free training out there for people who want to do it. So like this particular thing, if you got a company, a website, and an EIN number, you can get a, a, these training grants from Google, and you don't even have to. They're just the name of your business, the EIN number. So how complicated is that? So why would you be out there paying for training when you can actually get it for free? So that's what that particular that's why when you see our thing here, that's what I'm trying to explain here. If you learn how to pitch your idea clearly, if you no matter who you are, if you learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely, you can get to all these programs that offer stuff for free, and and you just have to understand the journey and use that lean stack training, because it is the key that unlocks the door for these things, for these all these opportunities for for founders here. It's just so many numerous things that are out there. I hope a lot of this makes sense to people. So our mentors have been working with the local founders. So in our leanstack.com thing, the list of all the contact information is in there for the mentors. You can reach out to them and get the help you need. And the people who are winning the pitch competition, they're the ones that's actually asking for the help. If you're not asking for the help, or if you think you already know how to do everything, and then when the judges start asking you questions and you can't answer the question, but they realize you're learning, but why not go in there, prepared, prepared to kind of move forward. So next week we're going to have some folks from Cox. They're going to be talking about the services they offer for founders, and I've been talking to them and trying to get them to do their Get Started program, started back, and giving providing resources for founders. And I was fortunate enough back a few years ago to win their Get Started program here locally. And that particular, we patterned our pitch competition after the way they did that, because they only required you to write 250 words. You didn't have to have a website, and you didn't have to have a briefing to pitch, and but they want you to actually get started. We're partnering with Miss Chappelle here. She was a judge in our last pitch competition, so she'll start coming on a little bit more often. And so she runs a nonprofit, and she's a software as a service expert, and she's also an expert at doing grant writing, and stuff like that. And a lot of you all don't realize this, but this Kimberly on the end here, she actually, her company is responsible for supporting minority and Black-owned businesses, here in Northwest Florida, and providing support for you to move forward. And just this week, I got another email from an organization out of Atlanta. They're also providing support for the founders in the Southeast region. And so all these things are out there, and you have to get connected. Yeah, and based on what I've saw with Startup on the Blocks and some of these other experiences, we're working hard to leverage some of these government programs and workforce programs to actually get technical people to come work for your startup, and the workforce program actually pays them while they're working at your startup. There's resources out there, and I guess I need to add them. There's I think it's one of them is called Year Up, and they actually provide. They go through training, IT training, and then after they finish the training, they have to do a 6-month internship with a company, and so they provide you those people to work at your startup. So we're trying to do everything we can to kind of get you all the help you need. So, and that's why you all should kind of get involved. And I hope this helps. I didn't see any questions, so I hope it wasn't too boring, but definitely share the information with other folks. And just the real message, that I have is that there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to really feel shy about, because the people in the startup ecosystem, they actually accept you at whatever stage you're at. Nobody's asking you to know everything, but they're asking you to actually learn it. So like, anybody have any last parting comments or anything, or any questions or anything they would like for us to, a particular type of guest they would like for us to have on, please put those in your comments there. If not, we're going to sign off, and we remember we have office hours on on Saturdays, and we this Saturday we're going to combine our office hours with an open house, and we're going to introduce our let you learn more about these workforce programs and these certificate programs and how you can take advantage of them with your startup. So if you know anybody looking for a job, or somebody's looking for to learn how to do software, or learn how to get access to some of these things, we're going to do that. And then also for the young folks, bring them out. We're going to have we're going to have the virtual reality up there for them to experience. We're going to have Charlie, a robot out there, and so they can have fun with that as well. And adults actually have fun with Charlie. When Charlie started talking to you and staring at you, it's pretty pretty neat stuff. Yes. Carlos is recommending Josh Lyons. I think that's the marketing guy. So we'll be glad to get him out here as well. Yeah, and so don't hesitate to and I appreciate you all sharing information like these different speakers. And whenever you, as a founder, if you got something you want to get out there, we'll be glad to share it. Or if you want to come on for a few minutes and talk about some success you're having, or if you get in one of the programs and you want to tell your experience about that. And so so that's the way we learn, about what's going on. So we really appreciate you all participating tonight. We'll see you all next Thursday, and I hope I provided an overall picture of what a founder's journey is really like, and it's fun when you can learn this stuff and learn how to pitch that idea clearly and concisely, and then get that check at the end, or those freebies at the end to kind of move you forward. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you next week.